Okay, fine. I'll admit it. The Padres are our rival now. Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about that Dodgers Padres series because that was contentious as all hell. Got a couple more fun series to react to, including the scorching hot Tampa Bay Rays. My God, who's seen them coming? And more importantly, we continue our buy the sell series with the team I never thought I would put on this series. That's right. We're going to talk about the Angels on buy or sell. Lord help us all. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network. My Dodgers, defending world champions, as you can see. Anthony's Thunder just won the NBA championship last night. Phil's Lakers got Luka Doncic. Subscribing to this channel brings success to your teams. Or you can not subscribe and see what happens, but I'm not risking it. Now, we begin, of course, with that Dodgers-Padres series, and oh, how beautifully contentious this thing was, especially considering the last time these teams played in Los Angeles. It was tense, it was heated, and shit was thrown at Fernando Tatis Jr. Justified or not, it was an awful look. And we begin in Game 1 with Dylan Cease versus a bullpen game led off by Shohei Ohtani, but I will talk about him in a second. For the Padres, Cease went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. It was a very weird start for Dylan Cease because he looked dominant for the first 2 innings, and then kind of after that it tapered off a little bit, a little more erratic. We weren't swinging and missing as much, and then we just got to him. But overall, I think it was a better start than the numbers let on. He really did dominate us for a good chunk of the game. But the bullpen game, we got to talk about Shohei Ohtani. I talked about this in last week's episode, but the big thing with Ohtani was he was overthrowing, and you can see that in the velocity. You can see that he was missing all his pitches in on lefties away from righties. And he has admitted as such in post-game interviews. He was planning to throw 95, 96. But I don't want to take away from the fact that he looked really damn good. And yes, I can nitpick and say like, oh, the breaking stuff could have been a little sharper. He could have gotten a swing and miss. Yes, I understand Machado swung, but again, we do not complain about check swings as Dodger fans anymore because Game 5 of the 2021 Division Series basically lost us that right. He looked good. The rest of the bullpen looked very, very solid. Kasperius, my man, is a dog for sure. Overall, the pitching was fantastic for the Dodgers as they went 9 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Great stuff from a very overworked bullpen, and that's putting it lightly here. Offensively, the scoring opened with a Manny Machado sac fly in the first to make it 1-0, and then Shohei Ohtani does what Shohei Ohtani does best, and that's just wow everybody. After throwing 100 miles an hour on the mound, he had an RBI double in the bottom of the third to tie it up, but Xander Bogaerts immediately answered back with an RBI double of his own to make it 2-1 San Diego. And bottom of the fourth, that's when the wheels came off for Dylan Cease because Max Muncy would give the Dodgers a 3-2 lead with a 2-run single. Then Tommy Edman, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts each added RBI singles of their own to make it 6-2. And in the top of the sixth, Manny Machado tried to claw it back a little bit with a solo homer of his own, but 6-3 would be the final in this one. And in Game 2, Vandy Vasquez went for San Diego to try and right the ship, and it wasn't that great. He only went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Really, yes, he attacked the Dodgers hitters, but we were not swinging and missing a lot at Vasquez's pitches. He kind of looked a little bit worse than he did against us when we played him a couple of weeks ago in San Diego. Just not a great start from him overall. And this poor, overworked Dodgers bullpen, man, they're like that underpaid PA on a film set because they're just doing everything because they had a second straight bullpen game where they went 9 innings, gave up 9 hits, 6 earned, 6 walks, 9 strikeouts. And you really saw that this bullpen is overworked, man. It is rough to see. But could the offense pull it out? Well, we're going to find out right now as Gavin Sheets opened the scoring for the Padres with an RBI single on top of the first to make it 1-0. But then a Max Muncy sac fly would tie the game, and Andy Pages would almost immediately break the aforementioned tie with a solo home run to make it 2-1 Dodgers. Luis Arias in the top of the third immediately ties it back up to make it 2-2, and then another Gavin Sheets RBI makes it 3-2 San Diego. Bottom fourth, Andy Pages. Don't throw at him. Don't call him a nobody because he was pissed off in this one. He tied it again with his second home run of the game. For his first career multi-home run game, it's 3-3 Dodgers, or 3-3 all. And bottom of the sixth, Yeah, this is when the wheels fell off of the Padres here because Will Smith had a 2-run homer to make it 5-3. Andy Pages, again, dog in this one. He had an RBI single to make it 6-3, and he would score on a Tommy Edman 2-run double to make it 8-3 Dodgers. But Trenton Brooks tried to claw it back. He had a 2-run home run to make it a save situation. And then Fernando Tatis Jr. would score on a wild-ass block from Kopech. I've never seen that from him before. But it was 8-6. Padres couldn't break through against a very tired, but it's still a very good Dodger bullpen as they win this one 8-6. Steven Kolek is trying to stem the bleeding here in Game 3 for the Padres as he went 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He really did everything he could to try and give the Padres the win here. He outpitched Emmett Sheehan. I don't want to say outpitched. Sheehan was very good. But in his first time, Emmett Sheehan went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. This is the man I remember from 2023, man. He was fantastic in this start here. Really tried to eat as many innings as he could. Really couldn't do that much. The bulk of the innings fell on Justin Robleski. In a very, I don't want to say heroic, it's a regular season game against the Padres here. But it was a heroic effort by Robleski to eat the rest of the innings here. And meanwhile, offensively, Elias Diaz opens the scoring for San Diego with an RBI single in the second to make it 1-0. And then bottom fifth, Andy Pages, again, dog, pissed off. Good one on you, Mike Schilt, as he ties it with a sac fly to make it 1-1. And then Dalton Rushing with a 2-run single makes it 3-1 LA. And then top 9, they were always going to leave Robleski in. I'm not going to fault Dave Roberts for this whatsoever. They just had back-to-back bullpen games. Tanner Scott had pitched 3 in a row. Kopech's coming off injury. You don't want him pitching 3 in a row. So it really was the Justin Robleski show in this one. And the wheels came off on the top of the ninth as Jake Cronenworth had a sac fly. Xander Bogaerts had an RBI single. And now it is 3-3 going in the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers offense didn't look that great. But here comes Will Smith. And I'm not going to say the whole Eric Karros. This is one of the best at-bats in recent memory. It was a very good at-bat, don't get me wrong, but Smith had absolute control of the strike zone in this one and just gets it over the wall for a walk-off home run, and it was beautiful to see. Eat shit, Padres. But unfortunately, going for the sweep with our ace on the mound wasn't as guaranteed as you would think. For the Padres, Ryan Burgett went in this one. He went 4 2/3, gave up 3 hits, no earned, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He has been a revelation for this Padres team that have needed him to step up in a big, big way, and he's answered the call every single time. And unfortunately, I don't mean to be premature here, but I believe the Cy Yamamoto dream is dead. He wasn't bad by any means, but he's not been as sharp as he was to begin the year, as Yoshinobu Yamamoto went 6 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 3 earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Really struggled with his command at times during this one, but he locked in around the 4th, 5th inning. Really was dealing and then just couldn't finish the job in the 7th. Still a great start from him, but just Skeens has been otherworldly. I'm not going to push the Cy Yamamoto agenda anymore. But offensively, Xander Bogaerts had a bomb in the top of the second to make it 1-0 Padres. And then Candelita himself, Jose Iglesias, with a sac fly makes it 2-0 Padres after 5. And then Jake Cronenworth hits one into the Crone zone. Oh, I hate that I had to say that. To make it 3-0 Padres after 7. Top 8, Gavin Sheets had an RBI single, and Jose Iglesias drew a bases-loaded walk to make it 5-0. And then we got to talk about the rest of this game. Yes, I will address the elephant in the room. Everybody and their mother was getting hit by pitches in this series. It was growing more and more contentious as the series wore on. A lot of them were accidental. The one to Ohtani in the second game absolutely was on purpose. But after that, it was all accidents. And it really came to a head in the 9th inning here where, oh my God, poor Jack Little, man. I feel for you. I really do. But when you hit Tatis Jr. in the hands with a fastball, yeah, that's when it was going to get serious here. And I'm not going to be like every other Dodger fan on social media saying, oh, he flopped. He's selling it. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, you guys. You get hit in the hand with a 95 plus mile an hour fastball. Tell me how that feels, and you're not immediately flopping to the ground screaming. Because I got hit in the face once with like a 60 mile an hour fastball. Not fun, trust me. So yeah, I'm going to cut Tatis the benefit of the doubt. I hate that I have to say this, but truly, it was an appropriate reaction. Mike Schultz, inappropriate reaction, quite frankly. And again, I'm not going to be Keith Olbermann and say like, oh, Dave Roberts is a scumbag and this and this. He was standing up for his players, and once he stepped out of the dugout, yeah, the bench is cleared. Yes, it was the saddest fight you may ever see on a baseball field. But really, everything just came to a head and boiled over. And, oh, it was ugly to see. Especially as we get to the bottom of the ninth, because we're still playing baseball, mind you. There's a baseball game I'm talking about here. With Tommy Edman having an RBI single, Hyun-Sung Kim having an RBI ground out here. It is 5-2 Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani coming up, potentially being the winning run. Down 3-0 against Robert Suarez, and you hit him? I understand, like, you're not going to walk him. Just, if he's going to get on base, throw at him. I can understand that in a vacuum. But hit him in the thigh, man. Hit him in the back. Don't hit him in his pitching shoulder. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Suarez? That is a boneheaded move. It's kind of a dick move, if I'm being honest here. And again, I understand. We hit Tatis plenty in this series. There were a lot of pitches being thrown. I understand. But those were accidents. You can argue all you want that we were targeting Tatis. They were accidents. I think the guy who just joined the team and is a little nervous in his major league debut was not aiming for the hand. If he was aiming for the hand on purpose, he has Greg Maddux level of controls. I swear to God, man. So for him to do that, Suarez, you piece of shit, okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. But Ohtani, God bless him. He's a saint. He really de-escalated the situation by being like, no fighting, okay? We're not going to escalate this. We will settle it on the field. And then to talk to the Padres dugout and really calm everybody down, he's truly one of one. It has to be said. It's not MLB glazing him. It's him preventing what would have been a massacre on the field if the benches cleared and started fighting, because it was going to get ugly with how heated both these teams are and how heated the stadium was, quite frankly. It was ugly. Oh, that's right, too. There's still a baseball game I have to talk about. Yuki Matsui comes in because, of course, Robert Suarez is immediately ejected from this one. And immediately throws a wild pitch. It's 5-3. Dalton rushing. You could be the hero. And yeah, he swung and missed on a full count with a dead middle fastball. Padres win 5-3. And overall, the Dodgers are the better team. The offense was great. We had one starting pitcher this whole series, and we lost that game, man. It was absolutely a masterclass of destroying your rival from the Dodgers and the Padres. I get it. You guys also have pitching injuries. We did not see, well, we only saw Dylan Cease of what was supposed to be a very deadly trio. We did not see Nick Pivetta at all in this series, but we still handed you your lunch money quite thoroughly here. They look good, don't get me wrong, but, Tatis was absolutely shut down in this series. Machado did what he could. Arias has been fine if I'm being generous, but overall I don't think he's been having a great year by his standards. Xander Bogaerts might be, I don't know, Anthony Rendon exists. He's one of the worst contracts in baseball, and I'm not going to take a 1.5 game sample size against the Dodgers to say otherwise. It's going to get really interesting when these two teams meet again in August because, yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be settled here. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go blow out the prayer candle Manny Machado said I needed to light for Fernando Tatis Jr.'s poor hand. While I do that, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Baseball's in full swing this summer, and if you're someone who knows ball, you need to check out Boom Fantasy. You could cash out if you predict things like hits, strikeouts, and RBIs. Boom's the only platform you could cash out 500 times your money on just a 2-leg parlay. If baseball isn't your thing, the WNBA is also in full swing this season, and there's a lot of superstars making their names for themselves. I've been loving cashing out on Angel Reese overs because everyone's just hating on her. If you never heard of this platform before, or if you don't know betting's for you, use code RTP for a risk-free bet up to $100. That's code RTP, and it's the best way to support this show. Let's get back to the video.
So, yeah, as much as I talked about that Dodgers-Padres series, and rightfully so, may I add, there are still other baseball series that were played this week, and of course, I gotta talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, man. This team is scorching hot, and they're doing it in a way that's kind of atypical of Tampa Bay. I'll explain right now as we talk about the pitching matchup in Game 1 here. Jack Flaherty went for the Tigers as they made the trip down to Tampa Bay. Jack Flaherty went 2 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 8 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Yeah, I love you, Jack, but that was not a good start. He went up against Shane Baz with the most terrifying Baseball Reference picture. I have to bring it up every time. I'm sorry, guys. He went 5 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Just not a great start from Baz either. Yeah, the offenses went off in this one here. And it started immediately in the bottom of the first as Yandy Diaz had a solo bomb to lead off the game, followed by a Curtis Mead RBI single and Matt Tice 2-run double, and it's 4-0 Tampa Bay in a blink. Riley Green, though, he hit an absolute nuke, man. That was a beautiful home run to really claw it back. It's 4-3 Tampa Bay, but in the bottom half of the third inning, yeah, that's when Tampa started to get it back a little bit, as Taylor Walls had a bases-clearing 3-run double to immediately get all the runs Green just scraped by, 7-3. And then Cameron Meisner had an RBI bunt single. Your dad is so excited by that one. And it's 8-3. After that, Yandy Diaz with his second home run of the game makes it 9-3. In the top of the sixth, though, Parker Meadows had an RBI double. Javi Baez, I'm not going to say rejuvenated Javi Baez because the last time I said that, his ass sucked for a month. So I'm not going to do that again. But 2 of them combined for 2 RBIs. It's 9-5. But in the bottom half of the inning, Josh Lau had an RBI double. Matt Tice had an RBI single. It's 11-5, and it's getting ugly fast, quite frankly. Riley Green's second home run of the game made it 11-4. But in the bottom of the eighth, it was just over and ugly. And stop. They're already dead. Matt Tice had another RBI. And then a fielding error on top of that makes it 13-6. And then Cameron Meisner with an RBI single makes it 14-6. But have no fear. Chris Paul at catcher himself, Colt Keith, had a 2-run homer to make it 14-8. And yep, that was definitely a wild baseball game, or as the Arizona Diamondbacks call it, a baseball game. In game 2, Sawyer Gibson Long followed the opener for Detroit, and he did everything he could. He went 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts. But unfortunately, he was outdueled by Dodger legend Ryan Pepiot, who went 5 innings, gave 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, showing, in fact, that the Tampa Bay Rays probably won the Tyler Glasnow trade, and that hurts to say, man, but Pepiot's been so good for them. And going open with a Josh Lau bases loaded walk in the bottom of the first. And then Jose Caballero, still with the bases loaded, gets hits by a pitch. It's 2-0. And then Taylor Walls has a 2-run single, making it 4-0 Tampa Bay after 1 for the second straight game. Then Brandon Lowe had an RBI double to make it 5-0 after 2. Jake Rogers had a good, I don't want to say good ground out, but he had an RBI ground out. It was 5-1 after 4. And then bottom 4, Janny Jansen and Junior Caminero had solo shots to make it 7-1. Bottom 7, Christopher Morel added a solo homer of his own to make it 8-1. And Jamani Jones, Dylan Dingler tried to claw it back in the 9th with 2 RBIs of their own, but really it was all Tampa Bay in this one. And in the finale, looking to avoid the sweep here, Casey Mize goes for Detroit. And he continues to be very, very good for them. He got that ERA under 3 after this one, going 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He went up against a suddenly very, very good Zach Littell, who went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts, in a nearly identical pitching line here. And offensively, Dylan Dingler opens the scoring with an RBI single in the second, followed by a Junior Caminero solo shot in the bottom of the 4th to tie the game. And that's where it stayed for about 7 innings, when Wenchel Perez had a 2-run homer to make it 3-1. And top 9 with a chance to maybe give their offense a really good shot to win it. Yeah, no, the bullpen imploded for Tampa Bay, as Spencer Torkelson had an RBI double. Oh, he would score on Wenchel Perez's RBI single. And then Parker Meadows had a 3-run home run. And just to add insult to injury, Dodger legend Zach McKinstry added a sac fly of his own, making it 9-1 Detroit. But Taylor Walls did his best Colt Keith impression with a 2-run single to make it 9-3. And why I say, like, you will learn how Tampa Bay's been doing it is the offense has been scorching hot. Yandy Diaz is great, as per usual. Caballero's been solid. Taylor Walls has been solid. And one name that I didn't mention, but I love so much this year, is Jonathan Aranda. Vote Jonathan Aranda into the All-Star game, people. I don't like Paul Goldschmidt. I hate Paul Goldschmidt's guts. Vladdy Jr. is having a great season by any means. But clearly, Jonathan Aranda is the best of those three. He might be the most underrated hitter in the league because nobody's talking about him. And he's got a damn near like 170 WRC plus, I know. Aranda's been fantastic. And aside from that, too, like the Rays are doing it in a way you don't really associate with Tampa Bay. Is they're doing it with starting pitching, man. Is their pitchers are pitching the second most innings of any rotation in baseball. From Tampa Bay, the team that bullpens their way to championships, has actually learned to use a starting rotation on top of a very good bullpen. My God, is it very scary. And just the fact that they dominated like a good Tigers pitching staff. Yes, I understand they did not face Tarek Skubal, but they still beat up on, Jack Flaherty, who is a very good pitcher, biases aside. They beat up on a Tigers bullpen that, yes, wasn't pitching chaos good this year, but they're still a good unit overall. And yeah, they are just so damn good. Meanwhile, them gritty Tags. I've talked about them a lot on the show, rightfully so. They're arguably the best team in the American League. But yeah, their pitching just got absolutely hammered in this one. The offense did all that they could, but once Spencer Torkelson cooled down, once Javi Baez cooled down, Riley Green's not looked that impressive either here. So it's really like the Kerry Carpenter show with Gleyber Torres on offense here. And they're doing what they can here, but yeah, they just ran into a buzzsaw, unfortunately. And in the finale here for the last series we're going to talk about, let's talk about another NLDS rematch here. Because the Phillies and Mets, man, these teams also hate each other a lot, and you saw it in the play here. In Game 1, Blade Tidewell, great name by the way, went for the Mets. He went 3 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He went up against Zach Wheeler, who is fighting. He's begging you guys to give him the Cy Young Award here. And with a start like this, he might actually beat Skeens, as he went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, no earned, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Again, if you take longevity and all that into account, I think Zach Wheeler is the best starting pitcher in baseball just because he's been doing it longer. But he's no Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, but he's still pretty damn good himself. Offensively, Otto Kemp, of all people, opened the scoring for the Phillies in the bottom of the 4th with an RBI groundout. And then Brandon Marsh added an RBI single of his own to make it 2-0 Philadelphia. But Pete Alonso had an absolute bomb, followed by a Jeff McNeil solo homer to go back-to-back, making it 2-0. And then bottom 7, Trey Turner continues to be a very consistent hitter with his RBI double. He scores on an Alec Bohm RBI single. Nick Castellanos had an RBI single, and then Bryson Stott had a 3-run triple to make it 8-2 Philadelphia. And then something bad must have happened that I missed on Friday because Nick Castellanos had an absolute nuke to make it 10-2 Philadelphia with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th. Overall, Phillies dominated in this one. But the Mets, they answered back in Game 2 here as the Griffin Canning, again, just continues to be a very good pitcher. Mets pitching lab is just different. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. Only 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Great start from him. And unfortunately, Mick Abel just got hit like a piñata at a Mexican party because he was just not good. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned, only 1 strikeout, 4 home runs. Yeah, it was that kind of day for the Mets. And it started immediately with a Brandon Nimmo solo home run at the top of the 1st. And then the bottom of the inning, Nick Castellanos would tie with an RBI double. He scores on a Max Kepler RBI groundout to make it 2-1. Then bottom 2, Otto Kemp scores on a wild pitch, making it 3-1. And then the Mets had a fantastic 3rd inning here as Lindor homered, then Nimmo homered, then Soto homered, back to back to make it 4-3. And then top 5, Juan Soto's 2nd homer in the game was an absolute missile off the bat. That one went a mile, and it was 5-3 New York. But Alec Bohm had an RBI single to get that run back, keeps it close at 5-4. Top 6, Francisco Lindor, trying to win an MVP here. He's not going to do it because he's not pitching, unfortunately. But he makes it 7-4 Mets. Jared Young had a bomb, and Juan Soto continues a fantastic day at the plate with a 2-run single. It's 10-4 New York. And then Francisco Alvarez, as a parting treat before he gets DFA'd, had an absolute bomb, and it's 11-4 Mets. And in the rubber match here, David Peterson went for New York. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Just not a great start from him. Jesus Luzardo finally bounced back after what has been a seemingly endless rough stretch for him, as he went 6 2/3, gave up 3 hits, no earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And offensively, the 4th inning was a disaster for the Mets, as Kyle Schwarber had a bomb, Otto Kemp had an RBI single, and then Edmundo Sosa, of all people, had a 3-run nuke, and it is 5-0 Phillies. In the bottom of the 7th, Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos would have RBIs of their own to make it 7-0. And then Francisco Lindor had a solo homer of his own to make it 7-1, which would be the final in this one. And overall, looking at it, is the Mets, they've been struggling. It's been a rough patch for them overall. Aside from Kodai Senga, the pitching has faltered a little bit. I don't want to say it's fell off a cliff by any means, but it's not as good as it was. The offense has looked solid, good. Juan Soto is finally heating up. He's going to live up to that somehow more valuable than Ohtani contract. I will never understand that. I understand it's more years, but more total value than Shohei Ohtani? Are you serious? But he's starting to heat up. Lindor is great as usual. Pete Alonso has cooled after a scorching start, but he's still having a fantastic season offensively. For the Phillies, the offense has just been, it's not been there, especially what you associate with the Phillies offense. Yes, Schwarber's good. Yes, Harper's good. Turner's been fine. Castellanos has struggled. Alec Bohm continues to be a guy you're just begging to hit his potential. The pitching-wise, like, this is a fantastic rotation. Yes, I understand Aaron Nola struggling. And yes, I understand Luzardo struggled for a long, long time. But when he locks in, he is so damn good. He complements, Zach Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez at the top of this rotation. And the Phillies showed, like, yeah, this is why we are the best team in the NL East. Come and get us. And Mets did not rise to the occasion. Now, we continue our buy or sell series leading up to the trade deadline here with the Anaheim Angels. Yes, I am considering the Angels for buy or sell. Because the AL West, I understand Houston is starting to run away with it a little bit, but it's still a very winnable division, and the Angels are somehow in second place, or they're in third place now, but when I was writing this, they were somehow in second place. It's a weird year for baseball, man. But if we're going to sell, these are the players they're looking to sell. Taylor Ward, he's a home run man, but I'm calling him empty calories, man. He's only hitting 210. Yes, those 19 home runs are very impressive. 52 RBIs are impressive if you still care about that stuff. I don't, though. What I do care about is a 271 on base. He's only walking like less than 8% of the time. Ugly on base percentage. A 465 slugging is good. 736 OPS is respectable, but a 99 WRC plus with 19 home runs shows that something has gone catastrophically wrong here. And it's his two-strike approach. He doesn't whiff a lot, but he's striking out more than someone with an 86th percentile whiff rate should be. He needs to fix his two-strike approach, man. I don't mean to sound like your dad, but shorten up and just make contact, and you're going to be a great hitter. And the Angels aren't going to make that choice for him. He would be a great piece for someone to buy at the deadline. Yohan Moncada, yes, I understand he's injured at the moment, but he was having a fantastic season before he went on the IL. He was hitting 237 with 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, 337 on base. That's how you get on base, Taylor. He's walking 11.6% of the time. He's got a 505 slugging, good for an 842 OPS and a 133 WRC plus. As Moncada is living up to that top prospect billing, he's kind of blooming late, like Elio Ramos. I understand it's a very small sample size of games, but still, he is fantastic for the Angels this season. If he gets back healthy and the injury isn't as bad as we think it is, you have a fantastic piece for your lineup, and I know a lot of teams could use him. Pitching-wise, we've been saying Tyler Anderson needs to be traded for a long, long time. Sorry, Dodger legend Tyler Anderson needs to be traded for a long, long time. And yes, he has been blown up badly in his past few starts here. Kind of affecting his numbers, but he's been good for a majority of the year. On the year, he's made 15 starts, gone 81 innings with a 4.56 ERA, good for a 91 ERA plus. But again, if you take the June out of it, he was a 1.20 ERA plus guy. You can get him back there. A 1.40 whip, 65 strikeouts, good for 7.2 strikeouts per nine, 3.4 walks per nine. The home run ball has been the problem in this stretch, though, because you see it immediately. 1.7 home runs per nine, good for a 5.13 FIP. Yeah. I understand the numbers don't look great, but just take June out of it and you see borderline like the all-star Tyler Anderson that was in Los Angeles. He is going to be a great ad because I know a lot of teams, cough, the Dodgers, that need pitchers in the worst kind of way that eat innings, and Anderson is perfect for that role. And the bullpen, it's a thin bullpen, but, Kenley Jansen's going to get looks. I love him. He's not been, elite Kenley Jansen, but he's still having an okay-ish year. Over 26 and 2/3 innings, he got a 4.39 ERA, good for a 95 ERA plus. 1.31 whip, 25 strikeouts, good for 8.5 strikeouts per nine, 3 walks per nine. A very, very not good, ugly 2 home runs per nine and a 5.13 FIP. Yeah, it's not great, but if you need bullpen depth, not a closer, cough, Philadelphia, he is the man for you. Do not get him to be your closer. If you get him to be like a fireman reliever or just a good high leverage arm, I think that's where Jansen fits in perfectly, and I think that's where teams are going to buy him for. But if you're looking for potential buys, this rotation is bad. I'm talking like Transformers sequels kind of bad here. Sidney Sweeney kind of bad. And really, you got to go to Arizona and get either Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly. Zach Gallen, by no means, is the pitcher I thought should have won Cy Young a couple years ago, but you could fix him, maybe. You're not going to, but it could be fun. As he started 16 games this year, throwing 91 and 2/3 innings with a 5.60 ERA, good for a 74 ERA plus. Yeah, but you can fix him though, Angels. He's got a 1.40 whip, 86 strikeouts, good for 8.4 strikeouts per nine, 4 walks per nine. A Tyler Anderson, exact 1.7 home runs per nine and a 5.01 FIP. He's not been great since that potential Cy Young season, but a change of scenery might be exactly what he needs. And really, if he unlocks that form, he is a true ace on that rotation, and then Kikuchi is a much better pitcher as a number 2. But if you want someone who's actually, proven and pitching well, go get Merrill Kelly, because again, his contract's up at the end of the year. And he's also thrown 16 starts, but he's got 93 innings, a 3.39 ERA, good for a 1.23 ERA plus, 1.05 FIP, 93 strikeouts, good for a perfectly flat 9 strikeouts per nine, 2.4 walks per nine, a home run per nine, and a 3.31 FIP. If you want someone who's actually pitching well and you don't have to, tinker with anything, Merrill Kelly, I think, is going to be a little bit more expensive, but he is a proven pitcher this year. You don't have to fit with pitch grips or pitch usage or any mechanical tweaks. You get a ready-to-go pitcher who can just eat innings, provide you solid starts, and I think that's exactly what the Angels need. I personally would go with Merrill Kelly over Zach Gallen because, Angels pitching development is not going to fix Zach Gallen by any means here. Get the proven guy. Offensively, they need a bat, man. They need someone who, one, does not strike out a ton, makes a lot of contact, gets on base. And unfortunately, I have to violate number 1 rule of this show, which is do not talk about Marcell Ozuna, because I have to talk about Marcell Ozuna. If Atlanta's going to sell, he is the crown jewel of the Braves' arsenal that could be sold off. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He is having I don't want to say he's having a great year. I don't like the guy, but he's having a great year here. He's hitting 247 with 11 home runs, 40 RBIs, a 383 on base, 424 slugging, good for an 807 OPS and a 128 WRC plus. He slots in perfectly as a 3-hitter. And I understand, yes, you have Mike Trout. Mike Trout, very good. We know this. However, when Trout's hitting 3 or 4, he's hitting ass. He's hitting like me up there. But when he's hitting 5 or 6, he's got like a 1200 OPS. And I understand. I am getting a degree in statistics here. Small sample size means nothing. But if you see that, maybe move him down in the lineup a little bit here. And if it works, perfect. If it doesn't, just move him back up. I understand. He may have an ego. We don't know. I don't think he does. He's Mike Trout. No one knows that much about him, except for the fact that he loves his Eagles. Just try it. Get an actual thumper in the middle of that lineup here. And all of a sudden, with Shanwell, Neto, Ozuna, Ohapi, then Trout, that's a pretty damn good lineup if I do say so myself here. And again, the division is within striking distance here. I understand you just dropped 2 or 3 to Houston, but you could do this. You could be the one that slays the giant here because the Rangers look lost at the plate. The Mariners have finally cooled off from a start we all knew was unsustainable here, let's be honest. You could be the one that slays the dragon. You can get the eternal respect of Orange County. I'm not going to say Los Angeles because, quite frankly, We don't care about you guys that much. But you could do this. You could be the heroes we need. Or you could do the smart thing and sell and just build up the farm system. I'm in favor of the fun option of buy, but if I'm being logical, you sell and just build for next year. And more importantly, lock up Neto and lock up Neto and Ohtani. They're very good. Just pay them whatever they want, man. They deserve it. But let me know in the comments down below. What team should I do next for buy sell? Is my assessment of the Angels correctly? And more importantly, is Dodgers Padres a rivalry? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.